This lesson reviews Big Ideas, Lesson 6.3. The essential question is, how can you use models to estimate percent questions? In this lesson, we use the percent proportion. You can represent A is P percent of W with the proportion A is to W equal to P is to 100, where A is part of the whole W and P percent or P over 100 is the percent. In numbers, we can see it as 3 to 4, so part to whole, is equal to 75 over 100, or 75%. In the Chapter 6 module, I have posted a link to an interactive percent bar that you might want to check out. It allows you to divide the bar into different number of sections, and see the percents. All right, again, percent proportion. So how do we use this? So if we have a question that's asking what number is 43% of 50, we can use our percent proportion to fill in the numbers that we know and then solve for our unknown number. So in this case, A is part. Okay, so what number is 43% of 50? Well, that's the number we're trying to solve for. So we're going to leave A as our unknown. We know our whole, which is 50. And we know our percent, 43%. Okay? So in this case, I can see it's pretty easy to go from 50 to 100. It's multiplying by 2. And so I could think A times 2 equals 43. So I need half of 43, which would make A 21 and a half. Okay? If you have a situation where you can't easily see that using some mental math, then we can use that strategy of cross products. So we would do A times 100, and we get 100A, 50 times 43, which equals 2,150. 100 is being multiplied by A, so I would divide by 100 to isolate A and find out that A, again, is 21 5/10, or 21 and a half. All right, what number is 20% of 60? So every time you do these percent proportion problems, you are going to want to start with the proportion. So I'm going to write mine out, A to W, and then percent to 100. And that P percent will change, but our 100 will always stay the same. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill in what I know. So going back to my question, what number is 20% of 60? So I'm solving for A. I have a total of 60, and my percent is 20, so I'm going to write that as 20 over 100. So this isn't easy to use mental math to go from 60 to 100. So I might do cross products, or you might know what 20% of 60 is. I'll just model the cross products. So 100A equals 1,200. And then again, I'm going to solve for A by dividing by 100. A equals 12. At any time, I can check. If I do want to see if this is correct, I can enter in my calculator 12 divided by 60, and I should get that decimal for 20%. So my calculator would show 2/10, which is equivalent to that 20%. 35 is what percent of 70? So again, I'm going to start with my proportion, A to W, P to 100, and fill in what I know. So this time, I know my part and my whole, and I'm solving for percent. So my part is 35 to my whole is 70, and I'm solving for P percent. Now, on this one, I might be able to look and say, oh, 35 is half of 70, which would make that percent 50%. Okay. If I didn't see that, of course, I could use cross products to solve. 51 is 102% of what number? Okay, so again, I'm going to start with my percent proportion, my part to whole my percent of 100. So I know my part this time. 51 is 102%. So of what number? So 51, I don't know the whole. I know the percent is 102%. And then I have 100. Okay. So you might be seeing that 51 is half of 102, so that might help you to know. I'm just going to model the cross products on this one. So if you weren't seeing that, cross products will always work. So 51 times 100, 5,100 equals 102W. And then I need to solve for W, so I'm going to divide both sides by 102. And W equals 50. So 51/50ths would be 102%. Again, if I want to check this, I can do 51 divided by 50 on my calculator. And when I do that, I get what would be the decimal for 102%, or 1 and 2 hundredths. 210 of what percent of what number is 84? And so I'm going to start with my percent proportion, part to whole, percent. So I know my part. So 210 of what number is 84? So this is 84 of some whole that I don't know. And 210% is 84, so that's going to be my percent over here. For this one, I'm going to use cross products. Don't see a real easy mental math. So 84 times 100, I'm going to end up with 8,400. And then 210W. I'm going to divide both sides by 210 to isolate that W. W equals 40. Okay. Again, if I wanted to check, I can put in that value for W into this 84 to 40. If I do this 84 divided by 40 on my calculator, I should end up with the decimal for 210%, or 2 and 1. In the United States last year, 2020, there were 1,243 tornadoes reported. In Minnesota, there were 52 tornadoes. What percent of the tornadoes occurred in Minnesota? So we're going to work through this problem. We're going to get an approximate percent. And so we're going to fill in again, start with our proportion. Part to whole equals percent to 100. My part is the part that was in Minnesota. So I'm going to fill in 52. And then my whole is that total number of tornadoes. And I'm solving for the percent. What percent were in Minnesota? And so this is one definitely I'm going to use cross products. So when I do my cross products, 52 times 100, I'm going to get 5,200 equals 1,243 times P. You can see these are going to be tricky numbers, so I need to divide both sides by 1,243. When you do that, you're going to end up with kind of an odd long number. So if I do 52,000 or 5,200 divided by 1,243, I get the percent of about, I'm going to just round to the nearest hundredths place, 4 1/1800ths percent. Okay. So that would be my percent. So just a little over 4% of the tornadoes were in Minnesota. All right, today your job is to do the lesson 6.3 assignment. Please make sure you submit your score and a photo of your work to Canvas. It's super important that you're writing out that percent proportion so that your brain has an opportunity to learn that. Have a great day.